we want to talk about freedom and slavery. So, the first question is, who are the slaves? So you may say that could be Ariel, and maybe Caliban, and Miranda, and perhaps Prospero. And how they become slaves? So for first, Ariel is a slave of Sycorax. Prospero says, and Phoedorus was a spirit too delicate to acres earthy, and abhors commands, refusing hers grant his. She did confine thee. In here is Sycorax confines Ariel because Ariel's refused his command. And how Ariel got freedom? Prospero says, when I arise and I heard these, that make grab the pines and let these out. So in here, when Prospero came to these islands, and he heard Ariel is screaming, so he freed out. So in here, Ariel is work for Prospero, so he's become Prospero's slaves. So who else is Prospero's slave? Maybe that must be Caliban. But how Caliban became Prospero's slave? Caliban is the son of Sycorax, but Prospero came to these islands. He met Prospero and guides for him. Prospero appreciates Caliban, so he decided to teach his own language to pay him back for guiding him. However, the education by Prospero cannot change Caliban, and he tries to rape Miranda. Therefore, he becomes the slave of Prospero. Prospero says, thou saying, I think so, he, that Caliban, who now I keep in service. So now, Caliban becomes Prospero's slave because he's trying to rape Miranda. Moreover, Caliban is Stefano's slave too. Caliban wants to murder Prospero while he's sleeping, so he becomes Stefano's slave. However, he does not know Stefano is too mediocre. There is only a bottle of wine that connects Caliban and Stefano. Caliban does not want to suffer any punishment by Prospero anymore, so he sends Stefano and Chancro. It's the only way that help him to get rid of Prospero control. So he wants to kill Prospero while he's sleeping. Miranda also is Prospero's slave too. Prospero arranged a future for Miranda already, so he has to get married to Ferdinand, although Miranda loves Ferdinand too. Therefore, Miranda becomes Prospero's slave indirectly. So Miranda's fall in love with the first man he saw. However, Prospero is a slave too. Prospero is a slave of the magic powers, the islands, and the revenge. Let's talk about the magic power first. Prospero says, those began all my study, the governments I cast upon my brother, and to my stage crew strangers began transports and part in the secret studies. So in this section, Prospero is leave his country alone and focus on his magic power. And he give all the control of his country to his brother, who is Antonio. Now let's talk about the islands at revenge. Prospero says, by accident most strange, brought bountiful fortress now, my dear lady, have mine's enemies brought to these shores. Prospero create a stone in the play, and cool in the ship. It's all Prospero enemy, and Prospero is very excited about it. And let's talk about freedom in the play. So in what way does Shakespeare presents the idea of freedom in the plays? Arrow libros by Prospero. Prospero says, "My arrow, shake, that's it. Discharge, then the elements be free and fare through well." So as we know, arrow is libros by Prospero, and Prospero is French for he did. Prospero libros Ferdinand and Miranda. Miranda is going to marry to Ferdinand, so she will be the Prince of Naples. In the other words, Miranda will get rid of Prospero control. Prospero libros Caliban, Tringolo, and Stefano too. And Prospero says, "Come Peter spirits, set Caliban and his compassion free, and tell the spell." So in the end, Prospero forgive Caliban of what he has did, and so he set them all free. Prospero libros Alonso and his minister, and says, "I will deliver all, and promise you clemency and specious gifts, and sail through expeditions that shall catch your warfare far off." Prospero forgive Alonso because Alonso promised Prospero he will go back to Milan, be the king again. Prospero feared himself too. Prospero says, "Now my charms are all overdone, and what stretch have mine own, which is more faint." So in the end, Prospero threw his magic array and buried it, and he will not touch it anymore. In this video, I used lots of quotes that from Prospero, and Prospero have someone said that is another way that presents Shakespeare in the plays. Thank you for watching.